It was a quiet weekend when I was house sitting for my grandma while she was away on a trip. I was staying in the guest bedroom next to her room. I'd always slept in that room as a kid with my brother during sleepovers. That night, I picked the bed next to the window. Before getting in bed, I checked the doors, making sure everything was locked. I didn't go to sleep right away. I was on my phone, texting and watching videos. That's when I started hearing a woman's voice outside, calling out,
Hello?
At first I thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me, but then I heard it again. It was a clear,
Hello?
I decided to check it out. I crept to the front door, careful to be quiet. I didn't have a peephole on the door, but the windows in the dining room gave me a good view of the front porch. I went over to the window, trying to peek through the blinds without making it obvious. And then I saw her, an older woman standing on the stoop, staring right at me with a creepy smile. She said,
Hello?
She wasn't just some harmless old lady. Something about her face really freaked me out. I backed away from the window and tried to convince myself it was nothing. But why was she standing out there at midnight, calling out like that? I went back to the guest bedroom, shut the door and tried to shake it off. But then, I heard something. A loud bang at the window. I panicked and peeked through the blinds. There she was again, staring at me through the glass. I freaked out and ran to lock myself in the upstairs guest room. The rest of the night was full of unease. But when I checked the windows the next morning, she was gone. My grandma later told me she had encountered a woman in the store who had been smiling at her strangely. It made me wonder if it was the same woman, but I'll never know for sure. My name is Nicholas, and I'm a freshman at Syracuse University. After going through a tough breakup, I decided to get back into the online dating world. I met a girl named Stephanie on Hinge, and we really hit it off. We had so much in common. We both liked reading, movies, and had the same sense of humor. After chatting for a while, I suggested we go on a movie date, and she agreed. She told me to meet her at a spot near campus, and she'd pick me up. So, at around 9 p.m., I waited at the corner of a block. Stephanie asked me to share my location, so I did. A few minutes later, a car pulled up, and the driver rolled down the window. It wasn't Stephanie, though. It was a random, older man. He asked if I was waiting for Stephanie, and I said yes. He told me he was her father, and that he was there to pick me up. But something didn't seem right. He looked way too old to be her father. I didn't trust him, so I told him that if he was really her father, why didn't he tell me he'd be picking me up? He seemed surprised, but insisted I get in the car. That's when I decided to walk away. I heard him yelling after me, but I just kept walking. I didn't look back until I reached the end of the block, and that's when I saw it. The same car, parked on the side of the road with its lights off. The man's car. I tried to stay calm, but I knew something was off. I got a text from Stephanie asking why I didn't get in the car with her dad. I ignored it and kept walking, but I could feel someone following me. At one point, I ducked behind a van to hide. I looked and saw the man again. He was yelling something at me, but I knew I had to run. I sprinted toward campus, and luckily, I wasn't followed. But when I got back to my dorm, I had another message from the man. It said, "You're lucky you got away. I would have strangled you." I saved the message and planned on reporting it to the police. But I still wonder what might have happened if I hadn't trusted my instincts. When I was 18, I worked as a part-time janitor at my high school during the summer. One night, I was left alone to finish the shift and lock up for the night. I was used to working late, and I didn't mind the solitude. It wasn't until my supervisor, Tom, left early that things started to get strange. I had to move some chairs from the gym to the basement, which was dimly lit and smelled musty. In the basement, there were these creepy art mannequins covered in cloth. I didn't think much of it at first, but when I went back upstairs to grab more chairs, I noticed that one of the mannequins had been uncovered. I was sure it was covered when I first came down. I texted Tom, telling him someone might be in the basement. He assured me no one else was supposed to be there. But as I looked around, I noticed something odd. A cloth in the corner of the room that looked like it was hiding something. I approached it slowly, and that's when I saw it. Whatever was under the cloth was moving. I ran upstairs, locked the basement door, and texted Tom again. He told me to call the cops, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted him to come back. Tom didn't want to, so he told me to be a man and go check the basement again. When I went back, the cloth was flat on the floor, and whoever was under it was gone. But then, the worst part happened. I heard loud banging noises coming from above me. I looked up and saw the air vents shaking, like someone was crawling through them. I was terrified, but I had to get out of there. I locked up the school and went home. The next day, I told Tom part of the truth, but I never went back to that job. I didn't care to find out who or what was lurking in the basement. If you want to hear more terrifying true stories like these, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next creepy tale that'll keep you up at night. And let me know in the comments, what would you have done in these situations? I can't wait to hear your thoughts. And remember, stay safe.